Once you find yourself in conflict with a narcissist, it's a virtual guarantee they're going to start playing head games with you. That's why I put together a new course. It's very extensive called Anger Games. I'm going to teach you how to manage anger and conflict with a narcissist. There's a link below that's going to show you how to register, and I hope that you find it to be very insightful. I've spoken about the topic on my videos before about the narcissist clinging to what we call alternate reality. It's a part of them propping up their false self, which is so central to what it means to be narcissistic. They want you to think that that they are somebody that they actually are not. One of the things that happens when narcissists become adults and they begin engaging in significant relationships is they develop a belief system that suits their cause, but is not very good and useful for you. And over time, you begin wondering, well, am I the crazy one here because they keep trying to foist all of this illogic onto me? And the answer is no, you're not crazy. This is part of the pattern. And one of the things I want to do with you here today in my discussion is I want to show you that there are very common beliefs that narcissists have rationalized within themselves. And I mean, to the point to where they really do believe it's true, that are actually part of their alternate reality. And along the way, when they hold on to these kind of beliefs, they're giving you grand insults, and it's necessary for you to see through this so that you don't get sucked into all of the dysfunction that implies. So let me run through what I refer to as the top 10 beliefs that narcissists have that become an insult to you. Now, at the top of my list, number 1, they believe it's necessary for you to have the same opinions and preferences as me. It doesn't dawn on them that, we each look at life a little bit differently, but in their mind, it's like, no, I've got my opinions. You need to have the same opinions. And the insult, even though they may not say it out loud, and especially coverts won't say it out loud, overts, they blather everything. But the insult is, you're too stupid to have valid preferences. You're too stupid to interpret life, so you need to have my opinions, and I'm doing you a favor. They genuinely believe that. Now, belief number 2 that's an insult, and that is the narcissist may think, I don't have to be open about what I'm doing. And you'll notice they don't want to have any particular accountability to you. But then at the same time, they'll also say, but you need to let me know what's going on with you. And so there's that double standard there. I don't have to be open, but you better be. Okay, what's the insult that goes along with that? And just plain and simple, I'm above you. I'm superior, and you are supposed to be subject to me. And you can point that out to them. It's like, who appointed you king or queen? And of course, the answer is shut up. They don't want to talk with you about that. They just want to perpetuate that false belief. And along the way, they kind of take a slap at you. Number 3, and this is one that drives me nuts. You know that I have a history of doing a lot of anger management work, and I've put together my Anger Games course because it's so important for you to see what's going on with them. But number 3 is, my anger isn't really anger. And then they may say, it's frustration. And then it's your fault. My anger isn't anger, it's frustration, and it's your fault. Now, they can yell and scream and throw a fit and just be awful in the way they do it. They can hold you in contempt. But instead of saying they're calling it for what it is, it's like, well, maybe I was a little frustrated and it came out. But you did it to me. But basically, the insult is you don't have the right to call out my abusive behavior. Think about that one. It's your task to just receive my abuse. They honestly think that way. Now, again, they won't put it in those words, but that's what's going on when they go into that space. Number 4, and this is a direct byproduct of number 3, is I can disrespect you repeatedly. But you better respect me. In other words, you owe that to me. And again, as part of this sense of superiority, it's like, no, I really need your admiration, and frankly, I deserve it because I am so much better. And so the insult there is your worth as a human being is marginal at best. I have worth. Give me the respect that is required. You, who cares? Number 5, in terms of their beliefs, and that is, when you displease me, you deserve to be punished. And they see themselves as being the hall monitor, and they want you to live in fear, and that's the insult. You know, if I can make you afraid of me, then you deserve it anyway. And so it's like they like to see you tremble. What an insult that would be. And when you say, well, why don't we talk about whatever it is that's displeasing you and that's causing you to feel like you need to punish me, it's like, no discussion. It's not allowed. Number 6, in disagreements, I am automatically right. How many times have you said, but I want to talk with you about my preferences, or I've got this perspective, or I have these thoughts, or there's something you haven't considered, and it's like, you may as well just go ahead and bang your head against a brick wall. There's an insult in that one, and the insult is whatever you think or whatever you prefer is irrelevant, because you see, you are irrelevant. What a condescending way to think. That's how they'll operate, though. Number 7. The belief that they have, and that is, I don't need to see your side in a difference. So you know that we talk about how narcissism is a lack of empathy, and basically when they refuse to empathize with you or refuse to even attempt to understand you, it's like the insult is, you're just a clueless person, and you're just an annoying irritant to me. And so why would I want to listen to you? That's all you are. You bug me. Now, number 8, and with everything I've said so far, it just gets more and more exasperating. But their belief, number 8, is, I'm a fair person. You just don't appreciate how fair I am. And it's like, seriously, you believe that way? It's like, yeah, that's why I keep pushing my agenda. And they've rationalized and they've come to the conclusion, I'm kind of the gold standard, and that's just something you don't appreciate. And it's their way of saying you're clueless about ethics. You're clueless about the responsible way of life. You just need to look at my fine self and you'll see that I do things right. Just imitate me. Boy, would that be a disaster if you did that. Number 9, in terms of their beliefs, and that is, it's your job to protect my image. Now, I wonder how many of you, whether it's in a living situation with that person you live with, or a parent or a sibling, or somebody that you know at work, it's like, you better not tell other people some of the stuff that you know. And it's like, well, why shouldn't I? Well, I've got an image to maintain. And then besides, if there's anything wrong, it's everybody else's fault, and they're going to draw wrong conclusions. So you're part of their image control. And the insult there is, you exist to become my enabler. You exist to be my fixer. Do your job right. Don't be you. Fix or enable me and fix whatever problems I might get myself into. And then number 10, and this is the ultimate one, and that is, ultimately, you are expendable. They believe that. As long as you're utile to me, then I'll keep you around. But beyond that, who cares? And the insult, of course, is, your value to me lies in direct proportion to your deference to me, period. End of discussion. And you as a human being are not valued. So what's going on here? What does this reveal? When they have these beliefs that turn out to be very erroneous, and then along with the beliefs are the accompanying insults, what does that tell us? Well, first and foremost, it tells us you're dealing with a delusional person. Early in their life, they were required in their own mind to maintain their sanity to deal with their pain by trying to come up with alternate explanations. And so they tried to defend themselves by explaining, well, maybe they're wrong and I'm not as bad. And so they come up with these notions that I just mentioned, but they're delusional. It's not anchored in reality. Now, in addition, and this is a really large one, you'll notice that when they have these false beliefs and then insults to you, it's a form of dehumanizing you but actually it's them dehumanizing themselves too. It's their way of saying, I cannot afford to be a regular human being. Therefore, I have to be a robot that looks like I'm somebody. But I don't want people to see my humanity. And I hope you see that. They insult you because they don't believe in themselves. They don't treat you like a human because they're not in touch with their humanity. In addition, what this reveals is that these people are masters of projection. They'll see the garbage they think is in you when in fact it's their own business, unfinished business that they don't want to deal with on the inside of themselves. And then ultimately it reveals that they're profoundly fearful. And by that, I mean, all these beliefs are part of their tight defense system. It's their way of saying, I don't know how to deal with life other than to come up with all sorts of distortions to at least temporarily soothe my very, very weak, insecurities. Narcissists are hoping, they're expecting you to buy into their delusions, and to accept their insults. You know what? No, thank you. I'm hoping you can think I have way too much respect for myself to put up with this kind of nonsense. I'm not going to argue with them about the error of their beliefs because, you know, they are so right. But I'm hoping that you can remind yourself, in order for me to thrive, I have to separate myself off from their lack of healthiness, their lack of truthfulness about who they are. And I need to go ahead and lean into what I know are reasonable beliefs. I hope that videos such as this can give you some good food for thought. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do so. We're going to keep more videos coming towards you. You'll notice on my channel, there's a little tab that says videos. There's a whole host of other videos in there. So go ahead and make yourself available. That's why we keep them archived like that. I know that sometimes when you're dealing with something like this, particularly on an ongoing basis, it might be helpful for you to say, I could use some therapy. I've been sponsored for years by the people at BetterHelp.com. This is an online resource where there's a whole team of licensed professional therapists. I know many individuals who do that kind of work online now. It's become very popular and accessible. As the need is there, please go through the link that we have below. It can be so helpful for someone to say, I want to know you. I'd like to break this down with you and see where we can go in a healthy way. Get the help that you would deserve. In addition, in my retirement, I'm no longer in my counseling practice, but I put together courses. And each course has at least 25 teaching videos, and along with each video, there are documentations, handouts that go along with it, along with guided questions. It's meant to be highly therapeutic. I hope that you would find them to be very insightful for you. My big one right now is called Anger Games. It's about how not to get sucked into their gamesmanship there. Along with This Is Me, about boundaries, free to be, finding yourself, ready, set, connect, having healthy connections. It's all on our website, along with access to my webinars that I put together. And then in addition, on the website, we have many articles, access to the podcast, and my books, etc. Narcissists believe what they need to believe because they have such a fragile ego. I hope you can see that. And then you don't need to play any kind of enabler role. And when they insult you, that's just part of the package. Walk away. Just walk away. In doing so, I'm hoping you can decide, well, I'm going to be anchored in steadiness and honesty. And in doing so, I hope you realize that's what's going to position you to be the person of peace that they can't be. But I'm hoping you can, in fact, reside inside your peace.